So, imagine a world where the creators of Grand Theft Auto brought you a Scottish zombie apocalypse game. Yes, a Scottish zombie apocalypse game. Now, there's quite a few vaporware, I think is the correct term, games that Rockstar put out over the years, and this is one that I didn't know about until recently. Uh, they toyed with the idea of creating a zombie survival game set in Scotland. They could just set it in Scotland. You don't need the zombie part of it. Just be scary enough as it is. God, I've got Scottish friends. They're going to kill me if they hear this. So the intriguing concept, but never saw it. Was one of these ones that never saw the light of day. It would have been groundbreaking because it would have got to the survival things like we've got today with like DayZ and I can't. There's too many to mention.
Rust.
But yeah, Rust, all these things here. But it was apparently it was after the release of Vice City in 2002 that they considered creating the zombie survival game. But because I imagine that Vice City was so big and so important that they decided, hey, you know what, we're gonna carry on down this Grand Theft Auto route. But yeah, according to Rockstar developer, oh my God, Obi. Oh, why do they always give me these horrible foreign names? Obi. It was ultimately abandoned because it was too depressing. It was too depressing and lost momentum from its original proponents. That's not the only game that was Rockstar Vaporware. The other one was the Agent, which I remember them showing off. Well, they showed off at the title card at PlayStation reveal, and it's supposed to be a 70s spy thriller created by Rockstar, but that never happened either. I find it amusing because there's just so many of those games now that exist. So yeah, it's interesting. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. So, Nige, I'm gonna ask what your take is on the idea of 2003. I would have said a 2003 zombie survival game set in Scotland. Scotland.
Do you know, I think maybe it would have come at a good time. It would have beat the others that have come out since, and you know, the zombie thing sort of happening. Was Walking
I
Dead
think it was
out by then?
28 days later.
Oh,
It was
28
28
days
days
later.
later. That's what
what a
kicked that
film.
off. I bet you any money that was what kicked, and that was depressing too.
It
So that would have
was.
fit with that thing. So
And
yeah,
then 28 weeks later as well after that, because they went to Scotland to hide, didn't they? That's where they ended
yeah,
up at the end of the film.
yeah.
So, actually, yeah, I think the people behind GTA making a game like that probably would have made a very good, polished game, to be honest. Better than the crap that's out there for the survival stuff at the moment. None of them can really hold my attention. But I think, yeah, if they made one, that would have been decent.
I would love to see. Right, because do you played Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption? Did you ever play that? That's fantastic. My mate Gavin bought me that for Christmas. One Christmas, and it's just an add-on that they created, and it was the Red Dead Redemption universe, and they just
Mm.
reskinned everything with zombies, and they had horses that you had to get, and one of them was a unicorn that farted rainbows. It was fantastic, and that was just a taste of what we could get on these things, but alas, we never got
That was
our
Xbox
game.
360, wasn't it? Was that 360 era?
That was 360 and PlayStation 3. I think I'm not sure about PC, but I'm sure it must have been on the
No,
PC.
I don't. No, I don't think it was on PC. I
I'm
think that was.
going to check now.
There was only a couple of console games. Well, a lot of Xbox 360 games originally were PC games, but I don't think the Red Dead ones were on there. Pretty sure they weren't.
That's annoying. That I'm sure you can get it. You can get it on. I'm sure you can get it on there. 2010. It was released. So yeah. 2010 for Undead Nightmare, but that was the closest you're going to get to a Rockstar game, and it wasn't set in the depressing north of Scotland. I mean, great, you found a needle.
I think people are done with zombie games now, aren't they? Do you think people are done with them? There's been so many.
For me,
I mean, you had the
for
Call
me-
of Duty games, didn't you? Which to be honest, that was one good thing that did come out of Call of Duty. I don't know if it was
that
was it World at War or number 4
it
with the
was
zombie mode.
it was World at War. It was
That
World
was
at
good.
War, and it was just a group of the devs messing around on their own time who invented that.
Well, what a
They just
game!
said we wanted a zombie
Really
game.
good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And then you had World Z, was it, or World War Z?
World War Z.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
played a little bit of that. That was interesting, but
Left
what was
4
that?
Dead.
What was that one that? Yeah, well, obviously your Left 4 Dead games, big Valve titles. What was that one where you were in a shopping mall and you could throw bizarre things?
Oh,
in-
that was
what was that
that
one?
was originally a 360 game. The photographer,
Yeah, it was.
Frank, was his name. Oh,
That was a big hit, wasn't it?
Not
Yeah.
Dead Island.
Yeah, it was. 'Cause, Dead Island was another one. I played.
Yeah, Dead Island.
First
Yeah,
Dead Island.
I had a little bit of that. Yeah.
But
What was it called?
I can't
Oh,
remember now.
that's gonna. I used to have it.
I just remember that being fun, and it did well. That title did well because
I've
there was
forgotten the name of it. I
there was
used to have that on the
there was
PC.
so many zombies in that, and you
Dead,
could hit
Dead
them with-
Rising.
Was it called Dead Rising? Was it?
Dead
Okay.
Rising. Yeah, Frank West. Dead Rising. Yeah, 360. It was one of
remember
release
that being
games. Yes.
Where's now zombie game? I mean, there is a there's a big multiplayer one called Scum, and I spent quite a lot of time on that on their servers. It's still in early access. That's
Yeah.
really good. Scum is a, but it's one of those hyper survival ones. So you've got to look at what you're eating, what vitamins you're getting, all that.
Vitamins.
It properly goes to town.
Oh my God,
You've got to be
that's too
careful what
much.
you've got
I
to be
can't
careful
do
what
it.
mushrooms you're picking up.
I was going to say, I
Because
can't do the vitamin thing in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. You basically start the game. I think you all play as inmates, and you get put in a plane, and you basically get chucked out of a plane with your hands tied behind your back. And if you don't get free, then splat. And then if you do get free, you land, and you've got to do things like rip your shirt off, turn that into a bag. But while you've done that, you're now freezing to death. So then you've got to make a fire. You haven't got to make a noise because the zombies about. It's proper hyper realistic, but it is good fun. But infuriatingly difficult if you haven't got a clan.
What do you call it? My favourite one was Days Gone,
I
where it
didn't
had
play
this
that one.
party piece. This party piece was getting swarmed by zombies, and it's great because the first time you do it, you run your bike along, and then you see you see a couple of zombies, you're like, and then you turn around and there's a fucking horde behind you, and you're like, oh great, I saw a couple of hundred there, and you're like, and if you play through, you find out that there's a couple of, there's one on golf course and it's like 150 you got to take care of, and it's just so much fun, especially when you get like a big old machine gun, so you'd have to reload. There's one where you get attacked, and what I did was I stood up on this on the roof of this lorry, and as I'm firing away at these things, the zombies are smashing the side of the lorry down, and the roof starts coming down, and it's just like, oh my god, they thought of everything. And there's some great videos of the amount of details they put in it. So like kind of little things that you'll never see. Yeah, so they showed a thing where the guy has trigger discipline, so he gets his finger out, yeah, and he gets his gun out, and he's got his finger alongside the gun so he doesn't accidentally pull the trigger. And his eyes, everything, they did so much work on the character, and it's so annoying because they were setting out for a really good sequel, because you follow around this government, like what's left of the government, and they're investigating the zombies. And you get towards the end, and you follow them to this one place where they're investigating the zombies, and they're like they were tracking a zombie, and he came home, he got dressed, he put on his wedding ring, and left the house. and you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, the thing that was like they're turning into people. Yeah, and then you get to the end and you find out all the government people are infected with the virus, but their version of the virus makes them super bloody human. And it's like, oh, I would have loved to have seen a sequel to that, but it didn't sell well enough because there were some bugs when it first came out, which is annoying because it was a damn fine game. It was a damn fine game. I recommend you play it if you get a chance. Seriously, you'll just be like the first time you come across a horde, but because they just like wander around.
And that's called Days Gone. Did you say?
Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone. Yeah.
If you've got the PlayStation Plus, the premium version of it, you can play it for free on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It got me through. Ironically, got me through COVID. Because I got it at the beginning of COVID and played it on my PlayStation 4. And when I got my PlayStation 5, I replayed it on the PlayStation 5 because it was just magnifique. Really good game. Do recommend it. The story's really good.
Just quickly, not zombies, but you're saying bugs. I recommend you have a look at Starship Troopers Extermination.
Yeah,
It's
seen that.
in
That looks
early
fantastic.
access. Yeah.
It looks fantastic. I've seen that. It's a proper horde game, and you have to do like building shit too, to like put walls up and turrets and stuff. Yeah. No, I've seen that.
Very good.
That looks good. Yes.
I'm hoping that comes
Anyway.
to Xbox. To be honest, Xbox.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Last Game Pass.
Anyway, to go back to our original Scottish zombie survival game.
Scottish zombie
survival game. So Rockstar's almost made Scottish zombie survival game and abandoned spy thriller agent gave us a glimpse into their possible futures that we could do. It's a reminder that not all games make it out into the world. Some just get lost in development. But fingers crossed that more of our favourite games get made and created. And with that, next story.